Judge Whitmore announced. Awards full custody of Alice Marie Cole to her father, Ethan Cole. Mrs. Cole, you'll be allowed supervised visitation pending completion of a rehabilitation program. This hearing is adjourned. The gavel came down, and Ethan Cole's world changed forever. Ethan couldn't move. He sat frozen at the table, the judge's words still echoing in his mind. Full custody. Alice was his. She was staying with him. He should have kept driving. God knows he had enough problems of his own. But something in their faces, that helpless, desperate look, it reminded him of Alice, of being abandoned when you need someone most. So he stopped. What he didn't know, what he couldn't have known, was that those twin girls had a father, a powerful father. A father who would walk into a courtroom in 72 hours, sit behind a bench, and hold Ethan's entire world in his hands. She asked the moment he answered. I won, Ethan said. And saying it out loud made it real. I won, Mrs. Rachel. Alice is staying with me. He could hear her crying on the other end of the line. Oh, thank God. Thank God, Ethan. Alice has been so worried. She kept asking if you were coming back. Tell her I'm coming home right now. Tell her we're going to celebrate. The drive home blurred together. Streets and traffic lights and turns he made on autopilot. All he could think about was Alice. Holding her. Telling her she never had to worry again. When he burst through the apartment door, Alice was sitting on the floor with her coloring books. She looked up, her eyes wide and frightened, searching his face for answers. Daddy? Ethan dropped to his knees and opened his arms. She ran to him, and he caught her, holding her so tightly he thought he might never let go. You're staying with me, he whispered into her hair. Forever. You're staying with me forever, baby. I also had someone look into your ex-wife's background more thoroughly, the judge said. Something her lawyer was very careful to avoid mentioning. Would you like to know what they found? What? Ethan whispered. Lena Cole has been arrested twice in the past year for possession of controlled substances. Cocaine. Both charges were dropped due to technicalities, but the arrests are on record. She's also been fired from her job 3 months ago for showing up intoxicated. Judge Whitmore pulled out a folder and slid it across the desk. This is a full investigation report. Drug tests, witness statements, documentation of erratic behavior. Ethan stared at the folder like it might explode. Judge Benjamin Whitmore walked in. Tall, distinguished, late 50s, with silver hair and sharp eyes that swept across the courtroom. Ethan recognized him instantly, not from seeing him before, but from the resemblance. Those eyes, that strong jawline. He'd seen those features just 3 nights ago, in the rain, on 2 young women who'd been stranded on the highway. Sophie and Maya. This couldn't be happening. The judge took his seat, adjusting his glasses as he opened the case file. His eyes scanned the first page, and Ethan saw it. The slightest pause. The judge's gaze flicked up, landing directly on him. Recognition passed between them, silent and electric. Thank you for stopping, Maya said from the back seat. Really? Most people just, they see us and they keep going. People are scared these days, Ethan said. Can't blame them. But you stopped, Sophie pointed out. Ethan was quiet for a moment. I have a daughter. She's 6. If she was ever stranded somewhere, scared in the rain, I'd hope someone would stop for her. The car fell silent except for the drumming of rain on the roof. Mrs. Cole, Judge Whitmore said, looking directly at her, you've presented yourself to this court as a stable, responsible parent, seeking to protect your daughter from an unfit father. But you failed to mention your 2 arrests for drug possession. You failed to mention being terminated from your employment. You failed to mention that you're currently under investigation for substance abuse. The courtroom erupted. Davison was on his feet, objecting. Lena was shaking her head, tears streaming down her face, but they looked like tears of panic, not grief. Your Honor, these charges were dropped. This is slander. The charges were dropped on technicalities, Judge Whitmore said calmly. The arrests are still on record. The drug tests are still positive. The witness statements are still documented. He held up the folder. This is a full investigation completed by social services. It's all here. He looked at Ethan, and for just a moment, something passed between them. Gratitude, recognition, understanding. This court, Judge Whitmore announced, awards full custody of Alice Marie Cole to her father, Ethan Cole. Mrs. Cole, you'll be allowed supervised visitation pending completion of a rehabilitation program. This hearing is adjourned. Your ex-wife claims you're financially unstable, that you work too much, that you can't provide a proper home for Alice. But here's what I found interesting. She's provided no evidence of neglect, no evidence of abuse, no evidence that Alice is anything other than loved and cared for. What she has provided is a lot of opinions about what a father should be able to afford. Ethan didn't dare breathe. I also made some calls, Judge Whitmore continued, off the record, to Alice's school, to your neighbors, to the parents of her classmates. Do you know what they told me? Ethan shook his head. They told me you never miss a parent-teacher conference, that you volunteer for field trips even when you're working double shifts, that Alice talks about you constantly, about the bedtime stories you make up for her, about the park you take her to every Sunday, about how you teach her to be kind. The judge's voice softened. They told me she's a happy child who loves her father. Do you get to see her often? Ethan's jaw tightened. The question hit harder than she could have known. Every chance I get, which might not be for much longer. He hadn't meant to say that. It just slipped out. The weight he'd been carrying finally finding a crack to escape through. What do you mean? Maya asked. Ethan gripped the steering wheel tighter. Her mother and we're divorced. She's trying to take full custody. Says I'm not fit to be a father because I work too much, don't make enough money. We go to court in 3 days. That's horrible, Sophie whispered. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest changes. Sometimes stopping for 2 girls in a storm saves your entire world. Sometimes the people you help become the people who save you. And sometimes, when you fight for what matters most, when you show up and refuse to give up, the universe fights back for you. Ethan Cole had learned that the hard way, and he'd never forget it. So if you're watching this right now, wherever you are in the world, remember this: kindness matters.